In 1982, the California Highway Patrol was looking for a new pursuit vehicle. They had had a few Camaros, but they were having issues at high speeds with the camshafts disappearing. They contacted Ford and ended up ordering over 400 Special Service Package or SSP Mustangs. Over the course of the next 11 years, more than 15,000 units were made, but what makes this SSP so special? Today I'm going to give you my top 10 facts that you need to know about the Ford Mustang Foxbody SSP. Number 10, most people think of SSPs as coupes, and for good reason. The vast majority were. But actually in 1982, the CHP did initially order 4 hatchbacks. These were actually SSP cars, but there were problems with those. Many of the hatches made noise, and it was difficult to store equipment in the hatch versus a trunk. Number 9, most Fox bodies came with at least 2 keys. One to open the door and the trunk, and another one for the ignition. SSPs, however, the number 8 fact you must know is the SSP had SSP only options. Now, many thought that this motor was upgraded. The SSP included a 300 horsepower motor. That is not true at all. The motor is exactly the same as what you would get in a normal 5-liter V8 LX at the time. But there were definitely some options that you could not get unless you had an SSP. Unfortunately, this Georgia State Highway Patrol car here, a lot of those have gone. They're not here anymore, but silicone radiator hoses, aircraft quality clamps, an upgraded alternator, less tech. Until 1992, when you actually had a motorcraft alternator, they were like 130 or 135 amps. The automatic version's got an automatic transmission cooler, and you also got engine oil coolers. All of these modifications were meant to help the car continue to run well while the car was idling or hot. You know, if they had to pull somebody over or they are waiting in traffic. All these options, from the hoses to the coolers, helped out immensely with that. There are many more options on the SSPs, but these are some of the big ones you definitely need to know and look out for. If you can find them, a lot of times they will resell for quite a bit of money in the aftermarket. Fact number 7, the SSP from 87 to 1990 used painted black 10-hole wheels. Now obviously these are not 10 holes, these are ponies. They're not original to the car. The car originally did come with 10 holes, but if you got a 10 hole from 87 to 90, the SSP models were painted black. What this meant is that even the unmarked cars had the painted black wheels. What's very interesting about this is that if you had an unmarked police car from 87 to 90 SSP, it actually would have had the painted black 10-hole wheels. And it's just kind of an easy way to see that it was actually a cop car. In later years, they went back to the aluminum, but that's why you see a lot of those painted black SSP wheels. Fact number 6 that you must know is the million-mile speedometer. Ford introduced this in 1992 only for SSPs. Now, a lot of you guys might already know about the certified calibrated speedometer. For example, this one has a 160-mile speedometer. You can see right there, we go to 160. And in 89, you only went up to 140 on the regular cars, but they got 160 on the SSP models. Prior to that, like my 88 SSP, it actually has a 140-mile speedometer. When most of at the time in 88 only went up to 85 in the regular cars. But 92, Ford actually introduced an option for a million-mile speedometer, and it's not something I've ever seen on a Fox body. I don't know how many of you have, but that's pretty cool facts you need to know. Now we are down to the top 5. Fact number 5 that you must know about Foxbody Mustang SSPs is there was actually some agency-specific installed equipment. For example, the majority of the Georgia Highway State Patrol cars, like the one I have right behind me here, they installed a roll bar in them. That's correct. Right when they would receive the cars, they would actually install these roll bars for Georgia State Highway Patrol. And this was an pretty much all the Georgia cars that I know about. Obviously, that was for officer safety. And in fact, here's some leftover equipment, I believe. I'm not sure what it does anymore, but I believe that is left over from when it was a patrol car. Maybe it's for something else, I'm not sure. But yes, the officer would actually have a roll bar in the car to protect him right from day one. Pretty cool. Fact number 4 is the SSC Selene Connection. And in case you've been living under a rock, Selene Mustangs were like the hottest thing around in the late 90s. And it was a way to actually get a production hot rod Fox body that was close to a supercar. And if you don't know what specifically I'm talking about, is the SSC Selene. I've got another video on that. In case you haven't seen it, I will throw one of those cards up on the screen right now. But there is a connection with Selene's on these SSPs. State of Oregon ordered 34 of these SSPs, and then they changed their minds, guys. They said, you know what, they canceled the order, and the dealer was kind of like SOL, right? They got in touch with Selene, and out of the 34, Selene actually bought 14 of them. They bought 14 of the SSP cars and put their whole Selene package on it, you know, the wing, the ground skirts, the wheels, the whole deal, suspension, and they sold all of them, but they were coupes, guys. They sent them back to the dealership and sold them, but they were Selene coupes that were originally SSPs, and that was something I was very surprised to find out. Now, I don't know what happened to the other 20. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Fact number 3 that you must know is you need to be able to identify an SSP. There is not a 100% surefire way to do this on all SSPs. It kind of varies, but there are some good tips that can help you out a lot. One of them is the dealer sales order, or DSO tag. All Foxbody Mustangs got at least 2 digits, but the special order ones got actually 6 digits. So the first thing you can do is actually check the DSO tag, which is going to be here on the inside of the door. You can see right here, the DSO for this one is 210092. It is a 6-digit code. And at the same time, you need to check the buck tags. Now, regular Mustangs all got a buck tag, but the SSP ones actually got 2. For these years, this is a 1990, you can see the 2 tags are right down here. Now, to actually get to them and be able to read them, it'd be a lot easier to take the headlight out. But those are those 2 tags right there stapled together. That is what is known as the buck tag. And if we could get that off, we could actually match that code up. It has the DSO code as well with the one in the door. And those are 2 good ways to find out. Depending on the municipality, you know, Florida, maybe California, it is a lot easier to find out. They kept good records. I actually have a 1988 SSP myself from Florida Highway Patrol. And in that car, I was able to look up the VIN number, and they actually titled it as a police car, so it was a little bit easier way to tell. But that is definitely something you want to check out. If you don't see a 6-digit DSO code, or you don't see 2 buck tags, it's probably not an SSP. The number 2 fact that you need to know is that the United States Air Force actually used an SSP Mustang as the chase car for the Lockheed U-2 spy plane. That's right, guys, they had to have a car on the ground to help the plane land, and they chose a Fox body. Why did they choose an SSP Fox body? I have no idea. But they did order about 20 of them, and it's nice to know that law enforcement agencies weren't the only ones that saw the value in a lightweight, high-performing Fox body. And we're finally down to number 1, guys. The number 1 fact that you really need to know about these cars, it's not so much a fact as common knowledge. A lot of these cars were very lightweight. As you know, they're all coupes. Many of them didn't have power mirrors, power door locks, or even power windows. So they're very lightweight cars. And I didn't mention earlier, but the floor pans were actually reinforced as well. As a result, many of them were used for drag racing, chopped up, tubbed out, and these cars were no longer really what they were originally meant to be. But that is changing, and a lot of these are now being restored, guys. Over the last several years, people are actually remembering these cars for what they were, and they're restoring them as much as possible. In fact, there's all kinds of websites that can help you out with your restore journey. and I will put one of those down in the description below if you want to check it out. It's where a lot of this information for this video came from. You just need to know that these are definitely special cars and worth restoring. But there you have it. That is pretty much the top 10 facts you must know about Foxbody Mustangs. Like I said, I do actually have an 88 SSP Florida Highway Patrol car. I am also restoring. So if you want to see more videos of that, check out my channel if you haven't already. This is a type of video I don't normally do. So my regular subscribers, let me know if you want to see more videos like this. You know, it was just something a little different I wanted to try here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making this one. It was a very different video, like I said, and just good to try something new. I do actually want to give a big thank you to Matt and Jen from Fox Mustang Restoration for letting me actually borrow their Georgia Highway State Patrol car here. They call the car Peaches. You could probably figure out why, but thanks a lot, guys. They do run Fox Mustang Restoration, where this car is actually being restored, and you can also get a lot of Fox body parts yourself for your restoration project, whether it's an SSP or just a regular Fox body Mustang. Definitely hit them up. I always have their information down in the description below. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Gearhead 704.